Hey there, Japanese Retro Game Center with another YouTube video. Had some time to make a video. I can only do it when I have time, right? So here we are. So I have a lucky chance to make a video. I've been doing my Super Famicom boxed collection, going through it. This time I wanted to take a break and do something a little bit different. I want to go through some of my boxed Famicom games. As I've said before, my goal is to collect all the Famicom and Super Famicom and Famicom disc games. They don't have to be complete. But if they are, complete or in the box or whatever, that's, nicer. Super Famicom, it's very easy to collect for box-wise. They're all the same box. The boxes are almost everything is the same size. I think everything? Almost everything is anyway. So it's same size, same shape. But if you collect for Famicom, you're really going to have some OCD issues. So I wanted to go through that. So I have a bunch of boxes here. Like, I'm not going through any specific set or company. Like, the best way to, like, organize your Famicom box games, I think, is actually by company instead of by, like, alphabetical order or anything like that. Because usually the companies have the same... Usually. They change them over time, but they usually have the same style of boxes. At least for a certain period of time. So you can go through that. So I wanted to go through some of the boxes. I think I pulled out every different shape. There's so many different shapes. So let's go through it. I don't really have an order, so let's go with the standard. Closer to one of the originals here, Duck Hunt. Okay, so it's a small, tiny box, just enough room. There's the front, there's the back. Right, like there. Just enough room to fit the cartridge in. Cartridge and the manual. So let's open that up. Oh man, I hope I don't tear anything, right? And so finding Famicom boxes is also a lot harder, well, because they're older. So, just enough room for the box. And the manual, right? So the manual is right there. Alright, just enough room for that. Okay. Let me put that back. See, I have OCD issues. I gotta keep everything in order, right? Keep everything nice and neat. There's that. And I wanted to show off baseball, one of the original ones. So I have baseball. But now, later, they reissued baseball, and it's in a bigger box. See? Bigger is always better. It's kind of hard to tell. Let's do a side comparison there. There we go. So some of them are reissued, and this size here is going to be your standard box. So, for example, Super Mario Brothers is... Oh, no, it's smaller. Sorry, my apologies. So, it's not even quite. So, that's a different size right there. I thought that one was the same. This is more of the standard, right? Super Mario Brothers, I believe. Unless it's bigger. No, it's the same right there. Yeah, baseball's smaller. Even the advanced baseball one's smaller. So, most of the games are like right here, this size. So, your Super Mario Brothers. And so it has, like with the baseball, it has a different size, but it has the plastic insert, and then you can put your manual. Usually the manual goes inside. It depends. It can go in or out, right? Are you an innie or an outie, right? So anyway, there's Mario Brothers. There's actually two variants of the Super Mario Brothers, so I have both of those. But I just wanted to show off one for now. Mario Brothers, good stuff. So we went smaller, bigger. And so, like I just showed it, so like Rockman 2, same size. Even though it's a different company, Capcom and Nintendo, they, Capcom, I think, for the most part, kept the same box, right? There's that. There's Zelda. This is a later issue, but they kept the same style. This is the, what'd you call it? I wouldn't really call it a port, but since the Famicom disc system went out, but Famicom was still around, then they reissued Zelda and put the 1 on there. So it's the same size. Is this one? Yeah, so Ninja Gaiden. Or, how about upside down? Ninja Ryukenden 2, right? So it's not a side quest, it's the real quest, right? Same size. Same size right there. And what else? And Konami, for example. Gradius, and Gradius. So, same size, same plastic insert and manual, like same deal. So that's kind of your standard, all right here. Now, let's see. Speaking of Konami, let's go to... They had some... Konami had some real odd shit. Here is Madara. So, RPG right there. So, it is a huge box. Let's pull it out. Let's pull it out here. Big manual. Check. Big map. Right? I'm not going to pull it all, but map. Check. Big insert for Koi games, which is probably in the wrong box, but it's in there. And cartridge is also different. It's bigger, so it has its own set right there. So there's that. Okay. So much bigger, much bigger. Where else were we? I had pulled out another Konami one. Oh, right down here on the bottom. This one. This gun sight. It's in a square box. So let's go back. Here's like, a standard. So, more rectangular, of course, right? So, but this one, it's shorter and taller, right? Or whatever. You know what I mean, right? So right there, peekaboo, I see you, right? So it's in a big old square one. So the square one like this, I think is the only one I have, and it's in a. Is it the same size as so cartridge is the same size. See, it's a good thing everything was top loader for Famicom because they had goofy sizes, right? So for example, like baseball, this is basically the size of the cart, more or less, right? And so it's that much bigger, all right? So yeah, big square ones, right? So that's Marada gun sight. Another square. Let's keep it while we're staying square. Jalico, their Famicom boxes were square. Same. A little bit smaller than this gun sight one, but they had their standard boxes going through. This is one of the bases loaded series. They had a lot of versions. I don't think they ported all of them over to the States. This is Shin Moero Pro Yaku. So it could be like 2 or 3. I'm not sure. I didn't keep track. So this is also square. Keep it in square. Oh, by the way, normal Final Fantasy. Theirs is standard, right? So same, standard. I had that sitting there on the bottom. Odd games. Smaller. Namco, some of their games they had smaller, so it's more of the same as like the Duck Hunt side. So here's Galaga, right? Pretty cool box. Numbered, by the way. I don't think anything else I had numbered. So some companies, Taito and Namco, and one we'll get into later, they had numbers, so they tried to number their series. So that makes it easier to like number or keep it together by company. So Super Famicom, they didn't really do that. Just Bandai, I think, is the only one that did that. So let's go through some. These are the hard plastic, right? Hard plastic case games, like your Sega Genesis or whatever, like that. Mega Drive. So they had hard cases. Here's Namco, Wagyan Land 3. So this is also a big game right there. Oversized cartridge with the manual. Okay, so we had that. There were a lot. So there's a whole lot of Namco. Namco, I think almost everything is hard case, except for their older series games. Like the games I have like this, for example, are Galaga, Xevious, Tower of Duduaga or whatever, Star Luster, like, and they're, yeah, like I said, they're numbered, right? These are numbered as well. So they had like that, but then later they're like, oh, screw this, we're not going to number it, let's just put them in big boxes, right? There's that. Sunsoft is all over the place. So I think this is the only Sunsoft box that I have. Batman! I have Batman, right? So, ooh, it has the map, right? The logo, right? That is cool, right? Great game, actually. Lots of damage on this one, but had to have it, right? So there's Batman. Its box is more, let's say, more efficient. It's a little bit smaller, right? Around the edges, so a little more compact. Let's go hard cases. So Taito. So they had their numbers and hard case. This is Operation Wolf. which you've seen me play with my machine gun, right? My machine gun Famicom. So the manual game, it has like placeholders, but they just kind of sit in there. So not a big fan. Like if you're gonna do a case, do it right. Right? It's okay. It's better, you know. They stand the test of time compared to like these paper cases, cardboard cases. Another hard case. This is my last hard case. Koei, they make all the battle simulation, and they're like the Iron Maiden of video games. Everything's a history lesson. So this is Genghis Khan, right? Or Genghis Khan, right, in Japan. So with these games, you're gonna have big maps, and instruction manual is gonna be huge. Your strategy guide or whatever is gonna be in there. It's gonna be huge, and it has a holder for that, which is nice. So your Koei, your history, I call them the history games, right? So they're like that. Okay. And now let's finish up. That was the general, like those are generally what you're going to see. Now let's get into some oddballs. The Family Trainer series, they made big games. This one is Takeshi's Castle, which you've probably seen on TV. So it originally came out in like the late 80s or mid to late 80s, whatever. So it made it on the Power Pad, or the Family Trainer, right? And it was also numbered, so even Nintendo did number some stuff like that. So I think I have over half of them. So, oh well, sorry, not Nintendo, right? It's Bandai, right? Same thing, Bandai with the numbering, right? My bad. So anyway, manual is right there. Cool stuff, good stuff. White cartridge and Bandai. So Bandai, actually, a lot of their games are big. Actually, I have another one. So Famicom Jump, right, is in the same size box. Ooh, I just found another one I want to go over. Speaking of Takeshi, Taito, they're one of their first games, right? Because it's like number 9. Right? That's a 9, right? Alright, so Takeshi's Challenge. This box is so weird. So that's what I'm going to get into next, was my unique boxes. So this one like opens up on the side, like right here. So there it goes. Boom. And then it has a cover like this with Takeshi right there. Beat Takeshi. And the manual is tiny, of course, right? Big box, tiny manual. And in the case is like this. And so it had that plastic cover on top and all that stuff. So it's all over the place. Frustratingly difficult game, but kind of whether you beat it or not or whatever, I think it's kind of one that you need to have in your collection. And if you can find the box, this goofy box, it's definitely worth it. Unless you have OCD, then don't get it. Alright, so that was that. A couple Takeshi games, right? Let's see, I did that. Let's do money games. So like the business management games, all about trading stocks or whatever, right? And making money. How much, right? So weird game. I don't know if I have everything with this. I think I'm missing. This might be it. I don't know if there was more with this. The box felt kind of empty, but it does have the manual and card. It's a regular sized Famicom cartridge, but it's in a goofy box. Let me do a comparison here. Mario, right, is your standard, and it's like thick. It's the same size this way, right, lengthwise, right, but it's thicker. It's thick, yo. Another game. Let's do the standard. This is a business economics software. So this is like kind of a business management game, right? And it is huge. Alright, let me see. I'll zoom out there. It is huge, like there. Okay. And what did this one have in it? I think this one had heavy manuals. Alright. Old Japanese man. It's standard. Big book. It's basically a strategy guide, right? All in there. I think it had I don't know if I can find it. Items. It had like items. Oh yeah, here it is. it had some, like, items that you can use. Oh, yeah, there it is, there it is. So, in this game, you could get LSD, right? So, LSD, like, you know, improves your performance, I think, in the game, but it comes a little riskier. My little insert there is a little jacked up. So, anyway, you might hate business, but, like, LSD, so maybe this is the game for you, you know? I'm sure LSD helps you with numbers. And last one, kind of the granddaddy of them all here. Final Fantasy 1 and 2. So, I just showed you what Final Fantasy in there somewhere, way in the beginning. And later, at the end, kind of like when they were redoing like the Zeldas and the Castlevanias and stuff, the Famicom, they put Final Fantasy 1 and 2 together on this giant cartridge. So let's go back to Mario. Hi, Mario. Right? And then, boom, it is big. And it's not even like Super Famicom. Let me pull off here, I have a Super Famicom. So, by the way, Super Famicom cartridge. Hello, how you doing? It's bigger than a Super Famicom. It's a little bit smaller, a little bit shorter that way, right? But this way, right? It's a lot. Thickness is pretty close. It's pretty close, but it's a little bit longer this way, right? It's heavy, 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 heavy. So, all that RAM, right? Let's see. Or more importantly, so, bam, came in one of these cartridges, right? This looks like, actually looks like some of the third-party, like, Mahjong cartridges or whatever. It does have a manual right there. A game. I put that in wrong. And then it's got your map for 1 or 2, and it also has the strategy guide. So, big, heavy box. BFB or something, right? So that is very unique. So those are some of the oddballs and all the other cartridges that sometimes you might see, sometimes you might not. So like I said, if you have OCD, don't collect for Famicom. Save all those games for me, and I'll collect them for you. So I hope you enjoyed the video showing off some of the Famicom boxes. Next time, whenever that will be, I'll get back to collecting, or I'll get back to showing off my Super Famicom boxes. So, take care. Thanks again.